Hi, this is Brian McKenna of McKenna Software. What we're going to be presenting here is a brief discussion presentation of tables and how to work with them real quick. Just for a quick reference guide for tables. When you first create a project, a table is created, and the type of table that's created is what's called a type 2. If you notice in each of these fields, here we have the 8 and 9 are for the torque tables, as you see for vehicle 1, vehicle 2, and then 10 and 11, if you can see these, are for the steer tables, vehicle 1, vehicle 2. The 2 in here means that the first item is considered a pre-impact and the second item is considered a post-impact, meaning that whenever it detects contact, it will then ramp between the first item and the second item to change the steer. And for most of your initial preliminary reconstructions, that's useful to use. But let's just say you had some kind of a swerve pre-impact and you wanted to have it going straight and then swerve and then have the impact. Well, what we would do is we go into here, change that 2 to a 1. We change that 2 to a 1 and update the table. So now the actual time is read from that first field instead of the difference between the time, and then you can put as many as you want. So let's just say we're going to have for vehicle 1 a swerve. Let's say we want to have perhaps 4 items. So I'm going to put a 4 in here, and then I say update table, and it says yes, I want to change from 2 to 4. Let's say we want to have 0 steer for the first half second. What we could do is we set this to 0.5, and then you notice it's 0 steer for the front. But then let's just say between 0.5 and 0.6, we want it to steer 3 degrees to the right. Positive is right, negative is left. And then at 1 second, we want it to remain at 3 degrees. And then at 1.1, we want it to go back to 0. So what that does, you see, is that we put in the time of 0.5, so from 0 to 0.5 it's going to have whatever steer that is. And then from 0.5 to 0.6 it's going to steer 3 degrees. 0.6 to 1 it's going to remain at 3 degrees. And then 1 to 1.1 it's going to go to 0. Now, because we have two vehicles here, I'm going to put vehicle 2 down at 3 miles an hour so it won't hit. And now let's go ahead and run this. Now, if we look at vehicle number 1, click on it, you see that's vehicle 1. You'll notice that he serves to the right. If we go straight up, we'll see this. He has a steer to the right for half second. The other way you can look at that is you can do plot, and then we can select the chart, which would be the steer. And you see here's that steer, as we said, at about 0.5 to 0.6. It goes from 0 to 3. It remains at 3. And then from 0.9 to 1, it goes back down to 0. Now we could change that again if we want. Now, once we're in here, we have these, you can then go ahead and change it. Make it, let's say, let's go 6 degrees. And then instead of going back to 0, we'll go to -4. So now we go ahead and run. Now you see how it swerves to the right, and then it swerves back. And again, looking at our steer, if you click up here, you see that that steer goes to up to 6, and then back down to -4. Now, in the meantime, let's go ahead and make this vehicle swerve. It still has, again, the 2 in there, so we're going to go back to the grid. And then from the grid, we're going to go ahead and take that 2 out of there again because we don't want pre-impact, post-impact. And we'll make this also have 4 members. So we say update table. So now what it did is created the 4, which is going to be a function of the steer. So on this one, we're going to have it, let's have it so that it's 3 degrees at the start, and then at a half a second, it goes to -3 degrees. And then it remains at -3 degrees for 1.5 seconds. And then by 2, it goes back down to 0. Now, so that they don't hit, we're going to go ahead and we're going to just load. And now, remember, this is vehicle 2, but what we're going to do is we're going to rotate vehicle 2 so he doesn't hit. And then we'll give him a steer of 30 also. Now, when we run this, you see the difference in the steer. Now, if we actually, again, that's we'll stop it at the end here. If we look at the steer, you see for vehicle 1, the steer goes to 0 to 6, and then back to -4. For vehicle 2, the steer starts at 3, ramps down to -3, stays at -3, and then back up to 0. And then this is the type of trajectory that you get. That should be a quick overview of what you can do with steers. And at any time, you can go ahead and generally you only can change the size of the table from the actual grid. But once you have it established, you can go and make the changes in the actual graphics. But in here, we can go and we could change this back to 1, or we could change that to a 2. Then that would be pre-impact, post-impact, and then post-impact that would all start. We hope that we thank you for watching, and let us know if you have any questions.